covering the eyes during the Shema. The simple explanation why we do that, it's his Rebbe when he was teaching a lecture and he wanted to concentrate during the Shema. He would cover his eyes so he could concentrate, so you can remove all, anything that might affect your attention. Another explanation for this, which is like a nice one, I think. Shema is about unity, seeing the unity behind things, seeing God behind all of our daily affairs. When you look at reality, sometimes it's hard to see it. You see people who are mean. You see disunity. You see things that are going wrong. You see evil in the world. It's hard to see that. So sometimes you have to take a break from everything and not look at it in order to really internalize the idea of the Shema, that everything's one, that God is one, that God's behind everything. So you close your eyes in order to get into that mind space. Then once you remove your hand from your eyes, hopefully you'll be able to see things in more of a unified fashion. So that's another, like a deeper explanation of that. And that's going to share, so in Sephardic tradition, I don't know if anybody's seen this before, but some of them will cover their eyes differently than just putting their hands over their eyes. So there's some of those communities will put their, will kind of do this. Anyone ever seen that before? You seen that before? So I was like looking that up. Why do they do that? So I saw it explained in one place that you're kind of forming a shin. So that the idea of the Shema or God's name starts with a shin. So you're doing a shin. I'm sure there's deeper explanations for that, but that's what I found. So that's like in terms of covering your eyes. Another one, so let's do the pointing with the pinky. Okay, so what? Okay, so they're different. Some people will point to the Torah with their index finger. So I'm talking about when you pick up the Torah in the shul. Other people will bow down. Seen that before? Or just not do anything. So those are 4 different things: pinky, finger, bow, or not do anything. Okay, so let's start with bowing. The Shulchan Aruch, our code of Jewish law, says that's all that appears there. He says you show the Sefer Torah, and then everyone should look at it, and they should bow down, and they should say, "This is the Zot HaTorah Asher Sam Moshe." The idea is that you're showing respect to the Torah, bowing down. People aren't always as careful with that, but that appears in the halacha. The idea of pointing appears to be just you're saying V'zot HaTorah. This is the Torah that God Asher Sam Moshe Lifnei B'nei. So when you're saying this is the Torah, so you want to point to it. Now the question is, why we do it why do people do it with their pinky? So I looked for a while. I didn't really find a good explanation. So that means maybe there isn't a good explanation. So the source of it is from, not even from a halachic work. It's from the Ma'am Loez. It's a commentary on the Torah. It's a Sephardic commentary, 1730. And he brings that people will do this. So it's not so clear. So I went on the Or Sameach website, and they asked Pinchas Scheinberg, who's a heavy hitter, one of the Gdolim. And he didn't say it was a nonsensical custom, but he said, well, you're going to point to the Torah. Now, if you're going to point to the Torah, you want to do it in the most humble of ways. So you do it with your pinky, to show that you're not, what?
No, that's good.
Did that trigger you a little bit? No. So we should try to gain understanding of the Torah with the utmost humility. Like we can't completely grasp it. All right. Other rabbis say, This custom, first of all, didn't come from the Ashkenazi community. It came from the Sephardic community, from one book that wasn't a halachic book. And if you don't do it, that's perfectly fine. It's just not. It's not. And I saw some places they say it's kind of like a misconception, like that people think you have to do it. Like you don't have to do it. So if you're going to do something, perhaps it's probably preferable to do what the Shulchan Aruch says, to bow down.